It is clearly over 17 minutes long and definitely not 17 minutes or less.
Also, T'Challa-ration.
I'm pretty sure this is T'Challa's uncle, not T'Challa himself.
Received a vision from the Panther goddess bust.
Who with the what now?
You just heard him. Next time try to listen.
Led him to the heart-shaped herb, a plant that granted him superhuman strength, speed, and instincts.
This plant is basically Jesus. Jesus!
Well, it is coming from a god, so...
The warrior became king and the first Black Panther.
Roll kitties.
The movie wouldn't be called Black Panther if they never say Black Panther in the movie.
To keep vibranium safe, the Wakandans vowed to hide in plain sight.
You know, Wakanda has the same problem as Wonder Woman's Themyscira. You're telling me that before Claw did his heist, not one asshole stumbled upon Wakanda by accident in all those years? Yeah, it's surrounded by mountains and what looks like a rainforest, but there are still flying things like airplanes, right?
Well, you have to fly in the perfect trajectory, and the engine is so low that every airplane would be flying way above it, and it would never would never accidentally stumble on it.
Did you think that you were the only spy we sent here?
To Oakland? Yeah, totally. To the United States? No, I'm not that stupid. Point is, you have been too vague in your question for my answer to matter at all. Yes, it's only 33 seconds of logos, but it's all just one logo, and that's excessive.
Well, that's what happens when you have a cinematic universe as big as Marvel's. Don't blame Marvel's success for a long logo.
This opening action sequence is just way too f***ing dark. I can't even call the movie out for bad staging or choppy editing because I literally can't see anything.
Turn on your brightness because I can see stuff.
Just because something works doesn't mean that it cannot be improved.
My dick in a nutshell.
And how is this a sin on the movie?
Dude, I don't care if it's his precociously brilliant sister or not. Shuri just flipped off the current prince and future king of this country in front of all these people with no repercussions.
Because it's sibling banter, and Shuri is a princess, so yeah, no repercussions. Also, this would have happened many times before, so the guards would know it's just playful sibling banter.
In case you confused it for London, Nebraska. I mean, seriously, does anyone need the UK part of this title card? This is the most London-y London shot ever to London.
And why is it a sin on the movie that added extra information for a 6-year-old or something like that? It isn't a sin because they were going out of their way to make it more convenient for you.
T'Challa, the Black Panther.
I'm super confused about one thing. How the throne of Wakanda and the title of Black Panther are seemingly linked and yet definitely not linked. Because he's been Black Panther for a bit even before his dad died. And now he has to have his Panther purple drank powers medically removed in order to fight for the honor of being king. Upon which they will re-purple drank his ass and get his superpowers back. But he wasn't king before now and still had powers and was out there fighting. He was Black Panthering right after his dad died in Civil War. Did his dad decide to stay king but give up the Panther juice to his son? God damn it, I've written 7 lines in a Word document about this and I'm still angry about it, but also now questioning my sanity and whether or not I'm the only one asking these questions.
Actually, that's exactly what his dad did. T'Challa literally says in Civil War that the Black Panther is a title passed on from warrior to warrior and is not linked to the throne, only that the ruling family has access to the herb which gives the Black Panther its powers. So T'Challa's dad passed on the mantle before he died because he was getting old, and now in the coronation it wouldn't be fair for T'Challa to fight with his powers, which is why they drained it from him to try to pay more attention.
Did no one notice that the Jabari tribe was missing from this entire ceremony before now? I mean, it makes for a dramatic entrance, but they're definitely a part of Wakanda, and this is a pretty important day. Marvel, look.
Actually, I'm pretty sure that the Jabari tribe is not part of Wakanda because they said that they split off from the other 5 tribes. And if you look at the pillars where the tribes stand, there definitely isn't one vacant.
Well, look, you should make a spin-off horror series about M'Baku in the clay mask. I don't know if it's the double eyes or the double mouth or the Westworld-worthy map carved into his forehead, but this is the most frightening movie character I've seen in years.
If Marvel achieved what they were going for in making M'Baku scary, then how is that a sin on the movie?
Second, she's 17 going on 18, and almost no decent English-speaking person would call her a child.
Technically, she still is a child because she is younger than 18.
Fourth, and maybe most sinful, don't all teenagers scoff at tradition?
Well, she is part of the royal family and should have been taught some decorum, right?
Who could not keep his own father safe.
Low blow, especially since he and his father were way outside the borders of Wakanda, where they can't possibly control all variables. That got bombed, and dude is making it seem like T'Challa just refused to do the Heimlich maneuver on his choking father.
Well, since T'Challa is the Black Panther and the protector of Wakanda, he should have protected the king, right? I mean, what are his superpowers for if he can't protect the king of the country that he's supposed to protect?
Where is your god now?
The M'Baku had some great trash talk before the fight, but what the hell does this have to do with anything?
It has to do with this because the Panther god gives T'Challa his powers, and if M'Baku beats him, that means that T'Challa's god didn't do anything for him.
Tell him who you are!
Character is close to death but is able to come back because of an inspirational shout from the audience cliche.
Why is everything a cliche now?
Wakanda forever!
And so begins the most annoying request of Chadwick Boseman's career.
Yeah, sure, but the screenwriters wouldn't have known the repercussions of the line when they wrote the line. I mean, how could they? They aren't prophets, so how is this sitting on the movie?
Just officially elected king, T'Challa has to undergo the Purple Heart Flower ceremony in order to receive the Black Panther powers that he had prior to this, but apparently had to give up after his dad died until he was officially elected king or some point is they half-assed this from the get-go. Damn.
I already explained this, so I don't feel like I have to explain it again. The point is, it wasn't half-assed. You half-assed trying to understand it when anyone who has an IQ greater than 50 could.
I know T'Challa has security with him and everything, but nobody even looks at the King of Wakanda as he walks down a busy street, let alone ask for a selfie.
Well, you see in later scenes that yes, people do take pictures of T'Challa.
The entire suit sits within the teeth of the necklace.
Man, I love this Q-style tech introduction of the gadgets as much as anyone, but the use of vibranium totally bypasses explanation of how all this was developed. Like, it's basically, this is the greatest tech ever invented. Yeah, but vibranium forever!
They said earlier that with the vibranium, they were able to make a lot of technological advancements.
The nanites absorb the kinetic energy and hold it in place for redistribution.
But really only in this movie. You'll see it in Infinity War, but only in the wide shots for some reason.
But the screenwriter and director of this movie did not write or direct Infinity War, so how is that their fault, and how is that a sin on this movie?
Just whip it back and forth.
You probably could have saved a lot of money by bypassing Lupita Nyong'o in favor of Willow Smith for this role.
How much money would it really save? Because Marvel made $1 billion from Black Panther, so they can cover expenses like a wig.
Americans.
I know Nakia's a badass spy and all that, but how the can she tell that all three are Americans just by looking at them from across the casino?
Maybe because they're all acting like dicks.
What I'm doing or not doing on behalf of the U.S. government is none of your concern.
I like Martin Freeman a lot. I even have a John Watson and a Bilbo Baggins poster up in my bedroom. But could they really not get an actual American actor to play the one American that's prominently featured in this movie?
Well, they wouldn't want to recast someone from Civil War, so probably not.
King of Wakanda is here.
Ross is a seasoned veteran of the CIA, but he seriously still talks into his sleeve when communicating with his team, in case...
Well, where else would he talk into? What other place would be less noticeable than talking into his sleeve? Maybe his foot? He's got to bend all the way down to talk through his communicator.
How the hell does useless henchman number 4 know who Okoye is? Even if they're getting set up, it's not like they'd know exactly who'd be with T'Challa.
It's not like Okoye is the leader of T'Challa's guard or something. No, it can't be that.
Wait! Which side of the road is it?
For boss sake, just drive!
Yeah, but that's very important information, and it takes much less time to just say right.
Actually, I don't think it's that important information because whenever you're driving from your point of view, you're always on the right side of the road.
It's textiles, cool outfits.
It's all a front.
Does T'Challa really need the secret communications device? I mean, they have a one-way mirror in this interrogation room, so why wouldn't they also be able to hear what they're saying?
Because Ross wouldn't want them to hear what they were saying.
Despite his injuries and taking off the mask, T'Challa impressively pulls off a flawless zoom-and-enhance cliche.
This is a cliche. For one, you incorporate T'Challa into your cliche. How many times has T'Challa done this to make it a cliche?
But it's Ross that's dying. Why the hell would Okoye say this? Why?
Because she literally doesn't care one bit for Americans.
Kimoyo bit.
This will stabilize him for now.
Yeah, I'll just stick my who's a what into his whatchamacallit and something vibranium.
No, it's the technological advances.
This man is a foreign intelligence operative. How do we justify bringing him into our borders?
This is an excellent point. They haven't let anyone into Wakanda for centuries, but they have to get Ross back there or he'll die. It's not like they're inviting some random asshole that won't tell anyone. This motherfucker's in the CIA.
If this is an excellent point, then why are you sending the movie for saying it?
Years your father was in power and did nothing. With you, I thought it'd be different.
But T'Challa's only been king for like 2 days, and he's spent most of that time chasing Claw. Give him a fucking break, man.
Yes, but he let Claw get away just like his father.
Don't touch anything. My brother will return soon.
Wow, Everett Ross may be the first movie character in history told not to touch anything that actually doesn't touch anything.
But that's a sin on all the other movies, not this one. Don't sin this movie just because of some other movies. This is an opposite of a cliche, and you're still sinning it.
You can't let your father's mistakes define who you are.
Thing my kids will be chanting at themselves into the mirror their entire lives.
And how is this a sin about the movie?
Only reason I don't kill you where you stand is because I know who you are.
Is that really the only reason? Like, why is Eric even really in trouble? He's got a Wakandan tattoo, so he's not trespassing. Sure, he's a little disrespectful, but that's hardly worthy of a death sentence.
He helped Claw escape from Wakandan capture, so he definitely is a criminal here.
Exercising my blood right. The challenge for the mantles of King and Black Panther.
Okay, but can Eric really do this? There was a whole thing earlier about the challenge being on a specific day, when the other tribes declined to challenge before M'Baku. Can any one of those warriors walk in and challenge at any time? I know we in the US probably shouldn't be judging any other country's politics, but that seems like an inefficient system. Also,
this challenge isn't normal, which is why T'Challa doesn't have to accept. Killmonger is just using T'Challa's honor to coax him into a challenge.
And all this death, just so I could kill you.
man, and I thought my family get-togethers were awkward. Last year's Thanksgiving got nothing on this.
And how does your family have anything to do with the movie?
Killmonger is at once one of our best comic book movie villains ever, and one of our stupidest. This is just so much dumb it kind of hurts the brain.
I mean, it kind of worked. If he didn't land in the snow, he would have died. You're telling me you thought that T'Challa could survive that fall like that? No way, man. Nobody could have survived the fall like that.
Also, look, I don't know if there's a way to do this where it's not obvious, but who the believes for a second that T'Challa's dead here? There's 40 minutes of runtime left. He's the titular character, and there's magic doohickeys all over the place here. Of course he survives this.
Yes, we probably know that T'Challa survives this, but the characters don't, and them being sad will still have an emotional impact.
Right? We start this throne room scene upside down as a very subtle way of reminding the audience that here in Wakanda, things are currently upside down.
Yes, it's a great use of symbolism. I have no idea why you're sitting this because it really isn't subtle. If it was subtle, then very few people would get it, and the movie would be worse.
One of our fishermen found him at the edge of the river border. He brought him to me.
And I didn't tell anyone, like for however long it took for Killmonger to get red-dirted and purple-planted, and then go up and change clothes, and then go into the throne room and order weapons sent to the War Dog spies. Yeah, I didn't say to anyone that whole time. I just assumed you guys would deduce that he was still alive and up here in the mountains and come here to retrieve him.
And who would he talk to? He probably knows that the royal family, which would be who he would talk to, would have fled Wakanda and would be looking for help. It's not like he's gonna tell Killmonger, hey, T'Challa is still alive so he can finish him off properly.
I can heal him there.
Take him. He'll be dead in seconds.
Damn, everyone in this country seems to be able to diagnose and heal anyone with impunity.
Well, I mean, he kind of looks like he's in terrible shape, so I would guess that he would be dead before Shuri somehow sneaks him into the lab past all Wakandan security.
How the herb that gives a normal human superpowers is now going to serve double duty as an herb that flat out heals mortally wounded dudes near death.
Well, it gives him super strength, which would mean that his body would have to react to the herb, and the herb would make him super strong and back to normal.
Let the fear of our discovery stop us from doing what is right.
This is the same realization Chris and I had just before starting CinemaSins.
And how is this a sin on the movie?
We will not help you.
Character insists they won't do a thing only to change their mind off screen in a few minutes of movie time and do that very thing cliche. You know?
I swear to God, you are just saying everything is a cliche now.
Made it seem like Shuri ran this entire country's tech during the whole movie, and Baku even called her out in the first challenge. So how are they able to put this massive effort of the weapons distribution together without her?
They hired someone else to take her place, huh?
Man, kill this clown.
This entire movie has been about Killmonger and his killing boner for T'Challa, but now that he sees he's clearly still alive, he tells W'Kabi to do it.
But Killmonger has what he wants now, the throne. So why would he risk his life trying to kill T'Challa when he already won?
Rhinos take this movie into full-on Lord of the Rings mode for the finale, and that's not a good thing.
Well, since the Lord of the Rings movies were very good, I consider it a good thing.
I made it American style for you. Get in.
First off, when did Shuri have time to make this American style? And how is that even an option? And what does that even mean? It's not like the US only has one type of vibranium-powered aircraft. In fact, I'm pretty sure we don't have any.
She made the controls like the controls on an American plane, duh.
Bucky.
How is this a sin? Bucky is an established character in this universe, and they have set up the next film. Plus, we know that Bucky is in Wakanda, so it would be worse not to include him. I just don't understand why you hate Bucky so much.